Something strange happens after someone hurts you. You expect to feel anger. You expect to feel distance. But somehow, within minutes, you are the one checking if they are okay. You are the one softening your voice. You are the one saying it's fine before they even finish apologizing. They caused the wound. And somehow you became the one managing it. This is not weakness. This is not low self-worth, even though it feels that way. It is a specific psychological mechanism, and once you see it, you will recognize it in almost every relationship where this has ever happened to you. There is a reversal that happens in human conflict that almost nobody names directly. The person who caused the pain often ends up being comforted by the person who absorbed it. Psychologist Harriet Lerner, in her book The Dance of Anger, wrote that many people are taught from childhood that their anger is the dangerous part of a conflict, not the action that caused it. So the moment a hurt person shows anger, their own nervous system treats that anger as the emergency to fix, rather than the harm itself. This single belief, planted early and reinforced over years, is the root of why you keep ending up on comfort duty after being the one who was wronged. Today we trace exactly how this reversal happens, step by step, and what finally breaks the pattern. It starts the second the conflict begins, with a reaction most people never even notice they're having. Part 1. Your discomfort arrives before theirs does. Here is the part that catches people off guard every single time. In the moment someone hurts you, your body does not wait for them to feel bad. Your body reacts first. Your chest tightens. Your throat closes slightly. The conversation suddenly feels dangerous, even if no one has raised their voice. This is your nervous system registering conflict as a threat, a reaction wired into you long before language even existed. Psychologist Stephen Porges, who developed polyvagal theory, explained that for many people, conflict itself triggers a fawn response. Not fight, not flight, but appeasement. Calming the situation down becomes the nervous system's emergency exit. So while the other person is still deciding how to respond to what they did, you have already started managing the temperature of the room. Think about the last time a partner or close friend said something that genuinely hurt you, and within 30 seconds you heard yourself say, "It's okay, I know you didn't mean it," before they had even apologized. You weren't being weak. Your body had already decided that calming the moment mattered more than naming the wound. That reflex is not random. It was built somewhere. And the place it was built explains why it keeps repeating with different people, in different rooms, years apart. Part 2. You learned this role before you could name it. Most people who fall into this pattern were never taught that their hurt was allowed to simply exist without being managed. In many households, a child's distress is treated as a disruption rather than information. If you cried after being yelled at, you were told to stop crying. The focus immediately shifted from the adult's behavior to your reaction. In psychology, this is known as hyperattunement. Psychiatrist Bessel van der Kolk, in his landmark work The Body Keeps the Score, describes how children in these environments grow up with a survival mechanism that scans the emotional states of others before checking in on themselves. You learn to read a room before you learn to trust your own right to be in it. So when you grow up and someone you love hurts you, the skill that activates first is not, "express what I feel." It is, "assess what they need from me right now to make this moment easier." You were not born checking if the person who hurt you is okay. You were trained to. Part 3. You protect the relationship by erasing the harm. Imagine walking out of a toxic, bruising argument and later minimizing it to your closest friend, telling them, "It wasn't that bad." You aren't lying to your friend. You are protecting your mind from a terrifying contradiction. This person matters to me, but this person is also dangerous to my peace. Most people cannot hold both of those facts with equal weight at the same time. To keep the connection alive, your brain has to make a choice. One of those facts has to quietly be erased. Psychologist Jennifer Freyd, who researched betrayal trauma extensively, described this exact mechanism. When the harm comes from someone you depend on, acknowledging the full weight of that harm threatens the relationship itself. The mind unconsciously shrinks the wound to protect the bond. And once the harm is minimized, comforting them stops feeling like a betrayal of yourself. It simply feels like protecting something important. But minimizing the harm only solves the problem temporarily. Eventually, this pattern starts to feed itself. And the more it happens, the harder it becomes to recognize while it's happening. Part 4. The pattern rewards itself every time it repeats. Here is the part of this cycle that almost no one explains clearly. Every time you comfort the person who hurt you, something happens that makes it easier to do again next time. The tension in the room drops immediately. Relief floods in. And your brain, which experienced that conflict as a threat, now associates you taking on the comforting role with the danger actually ending. This is basic behavioral reinforcement, the same mechanism B.F. Skinner identified decades ago. An action that successfully removes discomfort gets repeated, regardless of whether it is actually good for you. The relief you feel when the fight is over becomes proof to your nervous system that what you just did was correct. So the pattern does not weaken over time. It strengthens. Each time you smooth things over, you are training yourself further into believing this is your job. And the other person learns something too, whether they intend to or not. They learn that hurting you does not cost them comfort. It costs them nothing because you will arrive to make sure it doesn't. Recognizing this is uncomfortable. But recognizing it is also the only way out of it, and the way out is far simpler than most people expect. Part 5. The shift that finally breaks it. Breaking this pattern does not require becoming cold, distant, or unwilling to repair relationships. It requires one specific change in timing. Allow the discomfort to exist in the room for longer than feels natural. When someone hurts you and the urge rises to immediately reassure them, pause. Let the silence sit. Let them experience the brief discomfort of not knowing if things are okay yet. This does not mean punishing them with silence. It means refusing to rush to repair a wound before it has even been acknowledged. A simple, honest line replaces the instinct to comfort. I need a minute before I can talk about this. That sentence costs you nothing, and it does something most people in this pattern have never done before. It puts your experience first, even briefly, before managing theirs. The relationship does not collapse from this pause. If anything, it finally reveals whether the other person can sit with discomfort too, instead of only being comfortable when you are the one absorbing it. You were never weak for comforting the person who hurt you. You were running a program installed long before you had the words to question it. But a program can be rewritten. Not by becoming someone who no longer cares, but by becoming someone who finally lets their own pain finish speaking before rushing to fix someone else's. The people who deserve your comfort are the ones who have already given you the space to feel hurt without rushing you out of it. Anyone else can wait. Cognilux. We don't motivate. We clarify. Subscribe before someone uses this on you.